My wife lost a lot of weight to gain the attention of her work crush. How do I move forward? After we had our kids, my wife 35F gained a lot of weight, like 80 pounds. And honestly, at 38M was fine with it. I thought she was still hot and my desire for intimacy never waned. So for a while she was fine with her weight too. Fast forward 5 years and all of a sudden my wife gets really into fitness and nutrition. She buys a Peloton, goes on a strict diet and loses all the weight and then some. She looks like she did when I met her in her early 20s. She looks great, but like I said, I thought she looked great heavy too. Then one day last week, she came home from work and I can tell something is really bothering her. I ask what's wrong, but she's just evasive and distant. This lasts a few days before she finally breaks. She tells me that the reason she was so determined to lose weight was because she wanted attention from the guy at work she has a crush on. She said that all the women have a crush on this guy and she just wanted his attention. Well, apparently she got too much of it on the day she came home so upset. He had apparently been flirting with my wife for a few weeks, and that day he asked her if she wanted to have dinner with him after work at a restaurant that just so happens to be in a hotel. He heavily implied that they could get a room afterward or even skip the restaurant and just get room service. She tells me that to this point it was all just fantasy in her head, but now it was real and she snapped out of it. She realized that she'd gone way too far. She declined his invitation, of course, and felt she needed to confess what she'd done to me. I was crushed and still am. First, I'm actually upset that she told me. I know this is some form of cheating, but I didn't suspect anything. She could have just kept this to herself and not pass her burden on to me. So the thought comes to my mind that maybe she wants me to dump her so she can be with this guy, and that's why she is telling me. So I ask her that, and she breaks down crying. That's not what she wants. She says she loves me and just wanted to be honest with me and apologize. Nothing physical happened, I'm pretty sure of it. I can track her phone and also have pretty free access to it. She never hides it, leaves it everywhere, and that phone never leaves work. I suppose she could be cheating on her lunch break and leave the phone, but I just don't think she'd leave the phone and not be available for the kids. So I don't think I want a divorce. I love her and we have kids. But it's just eating at me that she did all the work she did to be attractive for another man. I don't know where to go or even what to ask of her. I just need some advice. Here are the top comments.
You need couples counseling ASAP. Without that, a clear path forward will be tough to find unless something else happens. She definitely needs therapy individually till she was caused that behavior. Then couples counseling to work on being better coupled together. If you can't move on after that, at least you try.
It was very stupid and short-sighted of her to have pursued this at all, let alone let it get this far. There comes a time in every adult's life where they must learn that certain curiosities must not be pursued in order to preserve the things that matter most to you. Just because one person bats an eye at you doesn't mean you should see how far that interest goes. Some things must be left alone. This one was one of those things and it blew up in her face. Now, her husband is forced to bear the damage from the shrapnel of that incident. He can no longer see his wife as the person he trusted the most because she broke that trust, all because she needed to catch the attention of some no-name in the office because every other woman seemed to want to as well.